Welcome to our Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time training call, where we talk about Medicare and everything related to Medicare, how to grow your book of business, how to get more sales, how to keep those sales and those clients that you work so hard to get. So tonight, I want to go over a couple different things with y'all. Let's start off with our update of the website that we have over here. We are August 24th of 2022. So I wanted to go over some updates for you guys that I helped and built. I want to make sure that everyone can see exactly what we're doing over here. So let me see. I just want to make sure everyone can see the right screen. Share screen too. Perfect. All right. So if you go to Final Expense Mastery, if you're on my website, there's a couple different things that are really important. Okay. So one thing is in the Medicare agent portal. All right. I have now added another section labeled Medicare Sales Training. So there used to be just 3, and that's something that I wanted to do. I definitely wanted to add in a sales training platform itself, so that way we can have that. The biggest issue, just in general, is always going to be compliance, right? What's compliant, what's not compliant, what can you say, what can you not say? So you don't want to have content out there that you can't say certain things or client-specific information, stuff like that, right? You don't want to get in trouble. So we start off, and I updated over here. I updated the Medicare agent portal, right? I sent out a video of this too, and it's literally right here as well. Website overview. So I updated this. I put a whole overview on here so everyone can do it. So you know where to get all the stuff and all the information, understand how to do everything, you know, go through all these different catalogs have all the agent portals to go to. WellCare, I noticed that WellCare is not sending people the WellCare training link. Like it makes 0 sense. It's very frustrating for all of us. So, you know, we call the carrier, like people will get the WellCare contracting, they'll get it, they'll get access to their portal. And then in Workbench, which is inside their portal, they don't even show them where to go to get the training. And there's no training in there itself, which is kind of crazy. So, or it won't let them go to the training. So what we used to do is they used to have a different portal and we had access to it. But now, unfortunately, they wouldn't let us go to the training unless you had that Workbench website all set up. But today, I was on a call with Ryan and we were looking at it. I was like, hey, what can we do to add this? So I actually was able to add in the WellCare training, and it actually works now. The link before did not work, but it actually does. We tried it today. So I added that on there to make it convenient for people to try and go ahead and, you know, actually use that. I went over here to the intro to Medicare, which is our next section, right, in the drop down. And I added in this beginning steps to sell Medicare, right? So just something simple like this that has your like 5 basic steps. That's it. Like the easiest things to know to sell Medicare. What do? You get their red, white, and blue card. Next, you get their current health insurance card. Next, you get their primary doctors and specialists. Next, you get their prescription drugs. Then you begin the Medicare worksheet. And then at the bottom over here, I don't know if you could see it, but it says complete the scope appointment. So now you're compliant. You completed the scope, right? And then I have the normal videos, right? Intro to training, Medicare basics, how you get paid, how do I get started, goal setting. And then I added in this video, basic steps to sell Medicare. Okay. So that's as simple as it is. And I just broke it down in a short video. Let me tell you how long it is. 1 minute and 42 seconds, right? So it's not like anything that I added is, oh, I got to watch an hour-long video or something like this. This is all incredibly simple stuff. I add in this one, which is steps to sell over here, which y'all already have in an email too. So I emailed it to everyone as well. So it's basically those first 5 steps, right? But then I added in because I didn't, you know, some people are new. And when you're new, you're green. You don't know what you're doing. You're not good at things that you do the first time, right? That's most people. It takes a little time to get good at this stuff. And it's confusing to you. And when you're confused agents don't sell and confused clients don't buy, right? So how do we kind of overcome that? Let's make it really, really simple. That's what I wanted to do and break it down to its core, right? So there's literally, I think it's 7 steps before we get into this. Yeah, so 7 steps for you that are, I guess, more advanced, right, relative to the beginning. So our normal step 1, which was on the other page, right? Get the red, white, and blue card. Here's an example. Get their health insurance card. Here's an example. Get their doctors and specialists. There's an example of what doctors and specialists look like, right? Get their prescription drugs, right? Begin the Medicare worksheet with that information. There you go. There's an example of it. You have it. Where's the Medicare worksheet? Right on the website. We'll go back to that. You log into Medicare.gov, right? And you help create an account. That's what it looks like. Or log into their account. Just so you guys know, 98% of clients don't create the account. It's usually created by another agent. Sometimes it's got their drugs in it. Sometimes it doesn't, right? You don't know. I always check the drugs. Then after that, then once you kind of can verify what they have, right? Because they show you this card, this health insurance card, but they could show you 3 cards, or they think that they have something that they don't, right? They have no idea what they have sometimes. So you log in here to Medicare.gov to verify what they have and to view their previous plans. Then after you gathered all this information, you literally just put it into Sunfire. Boom. That's all that it does. Just like if you're using underwriting software for selling life insurance for final expense, it's the same exact thing. That's all that it is. It's the same thing. Enroll them in a plan as your next step, and then complete the health assessment. And just make sure you pay attention to the notes at the bottom over here. It says complete scope of appointment. Obviously, that's the important thing. You got to do that. Reset the password for Medicare.gov. Okay. You can unlock the account as soon as it's locked. So people get scared like, oh no, well, if I get the security question wrong one more time, it says it's locked, it locks it. Don't worry about it. You can unlock it immediately after. Enroll all carriers through Sunfire except United Healthcare. All health assessments are done post-sale in Sunfire except United Healthcare. So just got to pay attention to the steps and the stuff that I send out. Obviously, I'm sending out for y'all to make sure that you got it. Medicare Worksheet still in here. Nothing changed on that, but I added in the steps to sell. All these videos are going to be the same in that section. But then the next section, this is the one that I added, Medicare sales training itself. So we have the different tools, right? The beginning steps to sell that you already saw, that PDF, the steps to sell that you just saw again, and then the Medicare worksheet. So we have that again. It teaches you how to do a scope appointment, where to do it. This video is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Let me just go ahead and admit that both these people. All right. And then we have our T65 presentation in here, who Corey Williams was actually kind enough to help me do over there in St. Louis. And then what I did is I put together 12, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not 10. I put together 12 different case studies, actual case studies, so y'all can see live examples of what I did and how I built it. And let me see in here. I think I got it. Well, I have it written down somewhere, but regardless, in these 12 different videos, what I did for the case studies is I did someone that has a prescription drug plan with original Medicare, and that's it, and enrolling them in an MAPD. I did someone that's on both original Medicare and original Medicaid with a prescription drug plan. And then in what can you enroll them in? And then we enroll them in a dual special needs plan. I showed you how to take someone from a Medicare Advantage plan and put them into a chronic special needs plan, how to take someone with United Healthcare, an older plan that they might have had, right, 0 premium, and put them in an updated plan, a newer one that they might have released in 2022 or the new ones in 2023, right? Now you're the agent of record and you're getting paid a commission. I show you how to take them from one Medicare Advantage plan and put them in another with a different company and the different reasons why. I show you how to sell a Part B give back plan. What happens if you run into a case where someone's on a Part B give back plan, but they're not paying the Part B premium? Why would they be in that? Get them a plan that's more rich in benefits. So I show you an example of that. I show you how to switch someone from a dual special needs plan to another dual special needs plan. How to deal with veterans when you run into veterans. What plan do you sell them? Right? So I show you how to take someone out of a Medicare Advantage plan that they've been on for 8 years, right? When Medicare Advantage plans all used to have premiums and they're paying a premium. So I show you all of those examples in there, and I built it for every one of you to make sure that you're comfortable with these and you know the situations. And I could probably have 18 of these, right? And I probably will, and I probably should, but I built every single one. And to give you an example, this one's 5 minutes and 44 seconds long. This one over here is 7 minutes and 50 seconds, right? This one over here is 8 minutes. This one over here is 5 minutes and 40 seconds. They're not an hour long each one, okay? So it took me a while to put it together. Obviously, that's why I was kind of in transition of doing it, but I put it together for y'all to hear it. This is really cool. This is 26 minutes. This is with Corey Williams. who some of y'all may know. Guy's a legend, and he did a phenomenal job kind of helping me through this when we were in St. Louis. So it was just kind of him and I going back and forth. It's a presentation, and it was good because it's, real. It's a real example of kind of what I do and what I say, and it's obviously he's not a client. He doesn't even look like he's 65. No, I'm just kidding. He's not 65. But yeah, so it was great. It was a really great situation, and I was able to present that for people that were in the room as well. That was live, and they got to see that. So you'll kind of get a really cool understanding of how I do it. Plus, if you've been in the home and you've heard me in the home and you've seen me kind of get those sales, then you understand exactly kind of what I'm doing in all these case studies. And these are, well, I can't say it, these are real clients because that wouldn't be compliant. Okay. But what I can tell you is I've run into examples exactly like these in my career. Okay. So they may not be exactly the same, but I've run into examples like these. So I'm sure y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. So yeah, so that's what I did as far as updating on all of this stuff. Okay. The FE agent portal, hey, that's still the same. I haven't changed that at all. But now y'all have something to watch, something to listen to. And then all of these case studies. So if I just like pulled it up real quick and I went through it, it is just all through
Let's go ahead.
Sunfire. So everything in there is going to be through Sunfire. So you're literally like watching me. This is how I do it every single time. When y'all call me, it's boom, let me go ahead. I go in here and I go to an account. Let's just say, for example, boom, let's go. I go to contacts. I hit add contact. I go in here, I add myself as a contact. Doesn't matter, whatever date of birth is. Obviously, we're going to make it something that could potentially be a client. I'll do 75150. Go ahead and hit save and quote. Go ahead and hit view all plans. And then I start taking the information that y'all give me, right? You send it on over to me on the Medicare worksheet, right? We have Dr. Adriana Smith. We have Dr. We're going to stay in Mesquite, Addie Roberts, right? And then we're going to add in a doctor down here in Dallas, Janet Ramallah, Save Doctors. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to add in the medications that y'all are sending me, right? So most of the time we're looking at a lot of these drugs that are our generic drugs, right? So we might be seeing this stuff. And so for you guys, this is literally what I'm doing live when you guys are sending over information. If we're looking at those Medicare worksheets, right? That's all that I'm doing is just, hey, I'm typing this information in, and I could do it relatively quick because I've done it a million times. So, I look through it, I go through it all, and I just take the data. And as you'll see in some of these, those live case studies, we're able to actually review many, many different scenarios. So that are all in different states, all different drugs, all different doctors, right? You're dealing with all different clinics, right? So all of that stuff, which is just awesome to see it. And that way you get to see it live. So, hey, what do I do hypothetically if, this doctor isn't showing in United Healthcare's network right here? Well, Control C, Control T, Control V, right? That's all that it is. So this is apparently a dentist, which I have no idea who it was. I just made it up when I typed it in. Let me see if there's a website that I can go to. Here we go. Oh, maybe it's a pediatric. So let's go. Oh, check insurance info. There we go. So it's going to tell us which insurance info that they take. We were looking at United Healthcare. So United Healthcare, okay, so they take the Patriot plan. So I don't see the one that we were looking at here, but it's a dentist office. So more than likely, if you're dealing with a PPO, you're going to be in a better position. So what I'm doing now is I'm just scanning through the page just to see if there's a way for me to find what insurance that they accept. Right. So this is literally like I'm just talking out loud as I walk myself through the stuff that I'm helping y'all with when I'm on when I'm on the phone with you working through it. So, I'll scroll through their homepage. Sometimes they have like a search button, right? And the easiest thing to do, right, instead of searching around sometimes for 5 minutes, cool website design, not bad. sometimes the easiest way to do it is just to call their office, right? They're closed right now. So that's some of the easiest way, or you can just control F on the page and see if something pops up for insurance. Looks like we have about 4 different places on the page that says it. Dental insurance, Medicaid, and financing. Explore your finance options. Well, that's one way to do it. So yeah, so I would just kind of look through here. I'd call the dentist office. It takes literally like people answer in a minute. I was on the phone with E today, and we were on the call for about a minute and 30 seconds. We called the doctor's office and we figured out that quickly, right? So Adriana Smith is a very generic name. So let's go ahead and see this if we can find it. Good luck with that, right? So Adrian Smith, Ronald Smith, that one might be a little bit more difficult. Oh, here we go. Okay, so let's say that this one is an optometrist. So that's pretty cool. Dr. Smith. I know it's not the right name, but what I would do is the same exact thing, right? I would just try and go ahead and find it. More than likely when you're with a client, okay, is you're able to ask the client questions. They usually have one of those cards from the doctor's office, the doctor's name's on a pill bottle, whatever it is. And I'm just fact finding. I think being a great part of being a great salesperson is just creativity, right? Just being creative when you're getting the sale and doing whatever it takes. No one taught me to Google a doctor's name and find the information that I need to find. It's just, for me, now it's just like, hey, this is something I need to do. It's part of my processes and procedures to get the information that I need. But literally everything that I just did here, getting all that information, putting in the doctors, the medications, looking at the different plans, searching the names. I think we all just did that in 5 minutes or less. I looked up multiple different doctors, maybe 7 minutes to do that. So that just shows y'all like, yeah, initially you're not going to be good with it, right? We're going to make sure that you don't make mistakes because we have all of the tools to ensure that you don't make mistakes, right? You're going to send this on over. We're going to look at this Medicare worksheet together. And just a side note, y'all, for address, just, please make sure you fill it out because you do need the zip code to start looking up plans, which is one of the main things here. So once you get good at this stuff, it doesn't take long and it's not time consuming to do it, right? And it's such a key and crucial thing for y'all to be able to do, to look at this stuff and get all the information that you need in order to present a case to the client, right? So in sales, you could be selling cars, you could be selling real estate, whatever it is. It doesn't matter whatever you're selling. Okay. When you're in sales, you need to be able to present a case, a valid case to your clients with sound logic that makes sense. But most importantly, it's got to make sense to you. So that way you can actually believe to sell it, right? Like I just can't sell something I don't believe in. That's just me personally. I can't just sell something that I don't think is good quality. But luckily with the health insurance side, I mean, we're dealing with the best insurance company. I mean, look at the list of these companies. Aetna, I deal with. Amerigroup, they're too small of a shop in this space to really do much with. You won't see them too frequently. So Aetna, Cigna, Humana, we deal with. United Healthcare, WellCare, right? Decent. Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Like we are literally dealing with the best names in insurance. Like there is literally no bigger brand name than these ones that we're dealing with. United Healthcare, everybody knows United Healthcare. If they had an employer and an employer plan, that's one of the largest names in employer plans. Right now in the entire state of Texas, through TRS, Teachers Retirement System, the entire state of Texas, they have United Healthcare. And yesterday I had an agent that was sitting down with a client who was, let me see if he's on the call. I don't see him on here. No, I don't see him on here. So he was with a client yesterday and she's paying $135 a month to have a Medicare Advantage plan. She's paying $135 a month to have a Medicare Advantage. Can y'all just read what this says right here? That says what? $0 monthly plan premium. She was paying $135 a month to do it. And when I said, hey, like, let me ask you a quick question. Why don't you just go direct with United Healthcare and have a Medicare Advantage plan through them for $0? Like, it's not free. This is not free. Did you pay taxes every single paycheck you ever got for your whole life? Right? Or depending on how long they were alive when those laws came about. But most people, I would say, most people have, when those social programs came around, most people have been paying taxes their whole life that we're dealing with clientele wise, right? Or they were mature enough to start. But, right, have you been paying taxes your whole life? And those taxes, what were those taxes that came out of your check? Depending on the state, right? Federal, state, Social Security, Medicare. So it's not free, but now you can use it. So why are you paying $135 when you can get this for $0? Same thing, right? So it was a former employer plan. Sometimes clients just don't know any better. And they're like, yeah, but they told me that if I cancel it, right, I can never get it back. You don't want it back. Like, it's $135 a month. Has the cost ever gone up with you? Yeah, they usually increase the cost every year. Great. Do you know what's going on with Medicare Advantage plans? Let me explain to you this landscape, right? How competitive this landscape is. All of these companies, look at this list. I don't know how many that is. Let's say it's 10. I don't know. Could be more. Doesn't matter. Let's say it's 10 different companies. They are all competing for what's called market share. Right now, 62 million people, going up by 10,000 a day. By 2030, we're going to have 84 million people. That is less than 8 years away. That is 7 years and 4 months away. We'll have 84 million people. That population is going to increase by about 33%. And it is just continuing to grow. All of these companies want a piece of that pie. They are more and more competitive to get paid a check by the government every single month. They want that money, right? They want that money. They need to get paid that check by the government. Because as of right now, the government has never bounced a check. And I don't think they will for a very long period of time. I don't think they're going to bounce any checks. So these insurance companies love this stuff. And they're expanding that, which means what? Which means that they have to compete against each other. And the way to do that is when they went from plans. Let's look at plans. Let's check this box right here. See where it says premium on the left-hand side? I checked the box that says over $60. Look at this. There's plans in here. This Secure Horizons HMO plan 2 is a $73 a month plan premium, right? So like what is Secure Horizons? What is this? Is this a health insurance company? Like, what is Secure Horizons? I don't know. What is Secure Horizons? Right? Secure Horizons. There you go. Just read whatever this says. I know that Secure Horizons itself was an insurance company that was purchased, right, by United Healthcare. Okay, so they purchased that. They own that book of business now. So they bought them a long time ago. So I know that they've been around for a while and they've got this plan too. And I know they've been around for a while because it's got a premium, and all plans in around 2019, 2020, not all plans, but a majority of the plans that we're selling now went to zero premium because they got that competitive because they want that market share, right? So plans that were $73, when you run into a client that's paying the $73, you keep them with the same company, they just don't know any better sometimes. So this just shows you, hey, there's people out there that are still paying $94. You could have a client that's 89 years old and you can still sell them Medicare, but you can't sell them any life insurance. Now you might look at that lead that's 89 years old and look at it a little differently. Hey, wait a second, I might be able to sell them some Medicare. No one wants to go sit down with someone that's that age. But wait, what if they're stuck in a plan that's $97 a month, $92 a month? That's a possibility. I run into it all the time. When I was out in the field selling these plans to clients, I've run into someone that is, because the list, when we're marketing, you got to think about when that cutoff age of the list, right? They're going to cut it off at age 85 marketing to. So when anyone above age 85, it's like, hey, you're not even marketed to. So, good luck, right? Like no one's going to come out and visit you. So they're stuck in that plan unless they, initiate the contact by calling in, like an inbound call or something like that. So that's interesting. So just kind of paying attention to that. And yes, I put that in, it's in here in one of these case studies. I purposely didn't label what they are because then you guys would cherry pick them. So I made it so you have to listen to the videos. So yeah, so that's really, really important. So when we're talking about selling on brand names and selling the best quality insurance that you possibly can, I mean, there's no doubt that you're dealing with the best companies out there, right? The best carriers, hands down. And some are better than others, and that's okay. And I know, like right now, I'll say, for example, WellCare is a difficult company, right? Sometimes they may not have the best answers. They put you on hold. They tell you that they're going to write a ticket. They're going to submit a ticket, and then they'll get back to you in 2 weeks for trying to get access to their training portal, right? It's like, I'm trying to sell your product. Like, do that stuff for me now. So you might deal with some headaches, but you know what? Companies get better. They grow over time, but we still know who our top 3 are, right? Our top 4 actually are right above it. Top 4 companies just in the entire United States in general with Medicare Advantage plans. So now, you know, hey, we got a sales training here. You got the resources that's built for you, right? You get to see me how I do it live in action. And when you're in the home, that's the best thing, because you're going to really listen to me, really pitch this stuff and understand exactly what we're looking at. So, and kind of how to be resourceful and find this doctor right over here, wherever this doctor would be in Richardson, okay, Scottsdale Drive in Richardson. So I could look that doctor up. And then what I want to do too is, because we see that they take the United Healthcare plan, but this doctor on here, it says that they don't take the Cigna plan, right? But this is a PPO. So remember, with PPOs, you can go in and out of network, and that plan may or may not be correct, right? In here, because it can say that they don't accept it, right? It says that this doctor doesn't accept Humana either. So what I would do is, we got their address over there. I would just go ahead and look this person up, this doctor up, and then there we go. So sometimes it'll come up automatically as a dietitian. So definitely didn't do a good job of guessing names for y'all on this one, but I don't know if this is the right person or not, but who knows? So here you go. So here's a number. So I would just go ahead, I would get that number, and I would just dial them on up and see if there's if I could get in touch with them and see if that doctor takes those other plans. So just because it doesn't say it in Sunfire doesn't mean that I automatically assume that it's not there. And that takes me a minute or 2 minutes to literally get on the phone with them and do it. And I know it can be time consuming and it's not fun to do it, but as soon as you get really good at this stuff, I mean, you'll knock it out fast. You know, there's been times I literally have gone in and out of a house in 15 minutes, doing a Medicare sale. Literally, like, I'm just like in and out like that fast. And that might be, exaggeration of how short the time is, but it pretty dang close, right? I've gone through everything and I do it that fast, because you could walk into a house where literally someone is on the United Healthcare, right? Let's just go with United Healthcare, where they are on the Secure Horizons for plan 2 for $73 a month. You get the information, you look it up, and you're like, hey, we're going to go to this plan right here. Staying with the same company, same doctors, nothing changes. Your medications, same formulary, right? All this stuff's going to be the same, nothing changes. But what's going to happen, Miss Mary, is your Social Security check's going to go up by $73 a month, right? So every single month now, your Social Security check's going to go up, but it's going to take about 2 to 3 months to do that. Okay. And let me tell you about some of the increases in benefits that you're going to get, right? So I just checked the boxes. And one thing that, I talk about with a lot of people is that clients' attention span, right, with this stuff, like, they don't want to look line by line by line of all this stuff and look at it. So that's why they have the summary benefits and the benefit highlights. So you look at it and you see the stuff in bold and you're like, oh, okay, well, that's the stuff that makes sense. Hey, instead of you having $1,000 in dental, you're going to get $1,500. Okay. Instead of you paying, this is $20. So it's $0 by $20 for primary and a specialist, $0 and then $20 here. Right. Let's see what other lower cost is. Outpatient surgery, 0 to 275. This is 0 to 150. So the one on the right hand side is lower with certain costs, but you're paying $73 a month for it. OTC, you're going to get you're going to get extra $20 for that, because it's 45 every 3 months. This one's 40. So you're going to get an increase there. Vision services, you're still going to get vision. It's $100 with this one, $200 with this one, right? This one's $150 per stay. This one's $325 for days 1 through 5, right? So we're looking at the plans and we're doing a comparison with each and every plan that we're looking at, but we're seeing, hey, can we save this client money? So that $73, when I take out, the calculator, that's all that I do is I literally just take my phone out and show it to him. 73 times 12. Hey, Miss Mary, your check's going to go up by $876. Okay. That's how much money you're going to save annually. Okay. And you're going to get more benefits here. Okay. So that's going to be a tremendous difference for you. And a lot of clients, I mean, for them, it's a no-brainer. They're like, wait a second, I don't have to pay anything. Like, yep. Medicare Advantage is a pay-as-you-go system, right? You pay as you go. You pay as you use it. You only pay as you use it. So if you don't use it, you don't pay, right? Normally with my health insurance, personally, like I got to pay a premium. I have to pay a premium whether or not I use it. For them, they don't. It's a $0 premium and it's pay as you go. You go to see a specialist, you pay $20, right? You go to an urgent care. We scroll down here, look for urgent care. You pay $40, right? That's it. But the close to $900 that this client is saving annually. So what if this is $100 less? They just saved $900 every year, right? If they're in this plan for a decade, they just saved $9,000. It's a tremendous amount of money, right? Same company. So that just shows you how quickly I can be in and out of a house with a client once I get the facts, right? Once I go through my steps to sell, right? And following the stuff to a T is so incredibly crucial, right? That's why I built this. I built it based on the way that I have found to be most efficient and most effective for getting sales, right? While maintaining our compliance, okay? So that's important for y'all. So I didn't just build it for fun, just, to listen to my self-talk and all these different videos, right? I built it so I can make sure that you guys are the most elite sales force out there and you're hitting your numbers and you're hitting your goals. So that is incredibly crucial, right? Someone told me that they weren't doing that they were enrolling United Healthcare through Sunfire and they weren't doing the health assessments. They've probably written, a couple dozen cases, right? I'm like, every 10 cases is $500 that you just left on the table. So you left over $1,000 cash by not following the instructions, right? And I can't let agents do that. So I have to continuously build and stay in front of everyone to make sure that I don't want anyone losing money, right? We don't want agents out of business. We want to do business with everyone for a long period of time. So I want to build it so it's pretty simple. It's cookie cutter. Everyone gets into the program. Hey, this is how we do it, right? Simple, expedite it, right? Get you guys through it. So, all right. So that's some examples of kind of what I do, the updates of the training and how I build everything, how I can get answers to questions, such as like doctors and stuff like that. Let me go to this one. Boom. Let's look at this one today. So we had this case for an example right over here. Let's go to, I'm going to tell you how I got this answer in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and pull this on up. So let me pull this on up real quick. 1 second. Here we go. All right. So this client, they gave us the name of in Brownsville. Okay. So Brian Carter in Brownsville, Texas. Okay. This person, as you can see, I've already was here. I find out Brian Carter, right? So here we go. So here's one. Let's see if that's the website. All right. This looks like a website for someone. What does this say right here? Right? Physician's assistant. Okay. Well, that's all I need to know. Stop there. Right? This is a physician's assistant, a PA. Okay. So for me, that's not an MD, which means that can't be a primary care physician. So when I'm looking at this plan, right, I had to go find this doctor to find a PCP to make sure that when we're flipping this person from the Humana plan to a UHC plan, okay, I had to go out here and I had to find this stuff in this hypothetical case study, right? So that's what I had to do to go ahead and look up that information. So what do? All that I did was I just got the number, called the number, and I said, hey, one of my clients over here, they currently have XYZ insurance company. Let's just say it was Humana. They have Humana insurance company. And we're looking at making some changes for their health insurance. So I was just wondering, I know you take Humana. Do you take Humana's HMO and PPO? Do you take United Healthcare, AARPs, HMO and PPOs? Do you take Cigna? Do you take Aetna? right? Their HMOs and their PPOs. I want to ask about all of them while I'm on the phone, right? Do you take all of those plans and their HMOs and their PPOs? Yeah, we take all of them. Okay, great. Literally, it was 1:29 by the time I hung up. 1:29. So I got the number, called it. And then in addition to that, I asked them all in the same call, right? I asked them, hey, now I see that Dr. or Brian Carter is a physician's assistant. What doctor's name needs to go on the card, right? Because obviously it's a physician's assistant. It's not a primary. Perfect. Here we go. She gave me Maria's name. I put it on there. Sure enough, I typed it in, comes on up, primary care physician, done. Creativity gets you sales and expediting that process to go ahead and go in there. I had the option to choose a nurse practitioner. Yes. Yep. So sometimes Renee just, she put a comment in the chat. She said she had an option to choose a nurse practitioner. Sometimes they'll let you do it, right? Sometimes they will. Most of the time they won't. But if you get that opportunity to choose, that as a primary care, then awesome, all the better. But the reality is it doesn't matter who's on their card if they go and see a PA, because as you guys know, right, most of the time when our clients are going to clinics or whatever they're going to, right, they're not even seeing the doctor anyways. So like this lady is like, yeah, I see Brian Carter, because that's who she actually sees, right? She doesn't see Dr. Munoz. She doesn't see this doctor because that doctor's busy, and she's like, yeah, maybe I see that doctor, once every 5 years, whatever it is, right? So the PAs are the ones that are going out there and seeing the clients, right? They're the ones that are nonstop. Not saying the doctors aren't busy, but you guys get the gist of it. So with that said, who has some questions or examples? If you want to bring examples to the table, if you want me to look something up, look at it, right? Questions or anything along those lines, let's feel free to go open forum real quick so y'all can ask questions. I'll leave this up just in case y'all want me to do some research, and just remember that Google is your best friend. So I'll leave this one up. Renee, go ahead.
Yeah, so I had a situation today that I hadn't seen before. I had a client that I helped her apply for extra help. She had a prescription discount for her COPD prescriptions from a hospital because she had the Honor PPO plan. So we switched her over to United Healthcare, but on her prescriptions, when I looked at them, I went ahead and selected yes, because I know she'll get approved for extra help. So when I did the contact info for her in Sunfire, I selected yes. And when it brought up her drug costs, it brought up that her Spiriva was $4 once every quarter. Why is it doing it quarterly?
Depends on the frequency of how frequently. So let's say, for example, she does 1 puff a day and that inhaler comes with 90 puffs, right?
So
yeah,
supply. Okay.
Yeah, so you would so actually let's do that real quick. Let's type it in Spiriva. All right, so here we go. Renee, can you still see my screen, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's type in Spiriva right here. So you can actually do this. It'll tell you dosage, and then it'll tell you the frequency over here. So you can change that, right? You can change if you do 3 inhalers. So you can change that stuff, which you can edit that. Or also too, let's say we leave this at every month real quick and we hit add medications. If
So
you change it to mail order, that will do it too.
She had one, we couldn't figure out what actual dosage to put for the Spiriva. She had like a puffer, but it had these little like packets. It came with packets, and none of them seemed to match what she thought it was.
It was like it's for a nebulizer. Usually it's like albuterol. So you would go to this one, it's albuterol sulfate. So you go to albuterol sulfate.
Well, she had that also, but the Spiriva, it had it was different. I hadn't seen this one before. It, like the cartridge, the circle cartridge that they get. They open the cap and then they pop it, right? Well, you can insert a little cartridge in it. I've never seen this one before.
Oh, okay. Okay. So let me,
All I know is that I did see one that said 18 on the Spriva, but we couldn't figure out what the actual quantity was. She wasn't certain
yeah,
of that. She did.
so quantity actually doesn't matter at
Okay.
all. So yeah, so if someone's on extra help, what it is it's not the quantity of the tablets that matters. It's just, so if the doctor says that you have to take 2 puffs per day, her fill, whatever her refill is, or her per fill that's what the drug cost is going to be, right? Per fill. So someone can take a different dosage of insulin than another person, right? But it's still going to be $35 copayment for that insulin with select insulin. So that's important to know too. So if I went to what is it? Novolin. Yeah, but let's do Novolin 70/30. We could do that one. Okay, so that's one option. This is the most common one. Let me see if there's other. Okay, so there's no other options there. Let's see Humalog. Let's see if we have that. So yeah, so there's 2 different ones for this one. So you can choose that. This might be sold in a pack of 5, but their quantity, they might be getting 15, right? So sold in a pack of 5 and they get 3, but that's what their prescription is on a monthly basis, right? So that's what their cost would be based off of is their monthly cost. So one of these is getting crazy high. So let's go ahead and go to drug cost and see which one's not on the formulary. That's a tier 3. Let's see which one's not on the formulary. Okay, so the Novolin is $142 because it's not on the formulary. So yeah, so that's usually what you'll run into. This one is not part of the insulin savings program or SSM, senior savings model, which saves them drugs. So yeah, so someone can have needs to take 2 pills a day, but it's still treated the same, especially if they're on extra help. So if you go to extra help, let's go to previous section here, Part D LIS chart, and we look at that. It tells you that right over here, their copayment. So if it's a generic drug, let me zoom in a little bit over here. Boom.
Did that change in the last couple days? Because I used to have $1 and $3 on Sunfire, but today it came up at 135 and 395.
Yeah, so that's a little bit different. So if someone is on Medicaid, full Medicaid QMB or higher, let's go to the left over here.
Okay.
Then they're going to be paying $1.35 to $4. $1.35 is the max that they can pay for a generic. It doesn't mean that's what the generic cost is going to be every time. And max that they pay is $4 if they're on full Medicaid, right? And then if they're not, and they're just on low income subsidy, they're going to pay $3.95 for a generic max and $9.85 for a brand name. And it's based on the income. So if someone is at that level, the 1,549 in this 4th column here, right? That's what they're going to be paying. But if their income gets beneath like $1,100, MSP eligibility chart, if their income gets beneath right here, 1,153, right? Beneath that amount where they would be what's called a QMB, qualified Medicare beneficiary. If you see it right over here, it tells you in Sunfire itself. It says, hey, who qualifies for this? QMB only, QMB plus, Slim B plus. So it actually tells you in Sunfire who's going to qualify for it. Does that mean we're not going to look it up and confirm it? No, because we got to do our job, right? So that's super important as well. So hey, this person is Slim B, which is an abbreviation, obviously, SLMB, and then QMB. So that'll be the difference in cost. And when you put that into Sunfire, and then also sometimes for Sunfire as well, like see how this one is $4,781. I don't know if the drug's on the list is on the formula. Yeah, so this one's not on the formulary here, but see how it says like tier 3, and then it says the drug cost is $1,528. This is we're on a dual special needs plan right now. Okay. I'm ignoring what that drug cost says because of exactly what we just looked at on that prior page. Is for this Humalog, right? They're only going to be paying $4. So I'm not concerned about that cost. What I'm concerned about for someone that's on both Medicare and Medicaid is this drug on the formulary, not on formulary. Okay, well, then you can't get it. You could do prior authorization and stuff like that to get it. But That should answer the question there. And does anyone else have any other questions?
I got one more question.
Yeah, I love it. Go ahead.
So I've had it happen 3 times now where my clients have SLMB.
Mhm.
But for whatever reason, when I do the Medicaid verification check with the carrier, they tell me they're not eligible. Do you
Yep.
know why that is?
Yeah, definitely. So if you look at it over here, we'll look at that top. So if they're just SLMB, they're more than likely not going to qualify for a lot of the plans. So see how this one says SLMB only, right?
Uh-huh,
And then this one says SLMB plus. So they
right.
might not just qualify for certain plans. Like this one's actually really dang cool. I mean, QDWI, like what does QDWI stand for? Great question. What does QI stand for? Right. So it's like you go here, if someone's a qualifying individual, just QI, and their income is actually this level, right? They're going to qualify for that plan based on this. So it's based on income. So if they're just SLMB, which means they're all the way down, that are not all the way down, they're lower on the list because their income is higher. They're not going to qualify for it just based on their level of Medicaid, right? These are different levels. So here's the highest level, QMB, right? Next highest, and then qualifying individual. And then we don't usually see qualifying disabled working individuals that often. So yep, it's just based on their income.
Crap, I wish we had that plan here. We don't.
Wouldn't that be nice? I know, I wish we certain areas would be nice to have a lot of the plans. But another thing that y'all need to be doing, here we go. Let's go ahead and bring this on up, is UHC, United Healthcare. You just to verify it, Medicare and Medicaid eligibility, right? So home, and I literally did this like 10 times in the training on these case studies to kind of hammer this point home. Obviously, I can't do it with clients' information, y'all. So Medicare eligibility, right? To verify if they have extra help. Here's your Medicaid eligibility. So I just do this stuff here so I don't have to make the phone call, right? I already have the Medicare worksheet filled out, got all the information, right? Literally, and this is, this is how I built the Medicare worksheet, is based on the stuff that they ask, based on the stuff that the insurance companies ask. That's how I built it. So yeah, so right here is exactly what, what you'll need to underwrite or to get an answer to her question, which is, hey, does my client qualify for this plan? And that's how you would do it, is you would just type in, whatever it is, makeup name. I can't do it because it won't let me verify it with other clients' data. Yeah, Scott, go ahead. Scott, I asked to unmute, so you should be.
Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
On that, if when people fill that out, it was when I first started, there was one time I was trying to fill that out and I kept putting in their name, and it wouldn't come up. And I'm like, I put everything in right. If they're a junior or senior, you've got to put the SR, you got to put the JR on the end or the SR on the end, or it won't come up.
It's a great point. That is a great point. Yeah. And sometimes you'll see it too. We had this lady today. So she had 2 last names. So that's something that you have to type in as well, as if they have 2 last names as well. So you'll see that a lot. Sometimes you'll see, hey, they got 2 last names, like Gustavo. Is Gustavo on? Gustavo. No, he's not on. Gustavo, and then it's Delgado Fernandez. So he's got 2 last names built into one. And that's something that you also need to put in there. And of course, to do these verifications and these lookups as well. I always tell y'all that here it is. Let me bring it back over. I always tell y'all that you can go ahead and you can call the carrier as well. They're all, very helpful. What I recommend doing is selling a lot of insurance with these companies. So that way you don't have to wait in line. You can get silver, gold, platinum status with these companies based on your book of business and how much you sell. And that's a really cool thing because, when you get that status, you skip the line. It's always good to have status and show your gold card, right, to United Healthcare. And instead of you waiting 10, 15 minutes because you got a book of business of, I don't know what the minimum qualification is for gold, probably like 100 clients. then, that's a pretty dang cool thing. I mean, they send me cool stuff all the time. They always send me mugs and stuff like that. I could not use another coffee cup, guys. Do not ever buy me a coffee cup. I'm funny because I go downstairs in the morning and I make a cup of coffee and I use the Keurig, which I used to drink espresso all the time. But then I realized, the way that I am, 2 shots of espresso in the morning is a terrible idea. So I will have a cup of coffee, and let's say a cup of coffee makes, 16 ounces. That's 16 ounces of coffee. That's what I drink for literally 2 days, 8 ounces, and that's it. Like, I'm done with coffee, maybe 6 ounces if it's a 12-ounce cup. So that is it. So if you guys know insurance companies or you ever decide to get me a gift, do not ever get me a coffee cup unless it's as a joke. They always said, like, they send me a ton of like these bottles too. I just got one from Nationwide, which is awesome. Like, I love those if I can bring them to the gym and stuff. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. If y'all have any other questions, sell more, get the preferential treatment by the carrier so you can skip those lines when you're calling, because there's some times that you need to call. We had an odd case where it was like pulling up in here and it was telling us that the lady's date of birth was not accurate. And we're like, what? And I'm like, wait a second. She have Alzheimer's? Like, I don't know. Like, it's saying her date of birth is inaccurate. Like, could that be wrong? I was like, hey, can I see your driver's license? But you'll run into the weirdest of things. I ran into it one time where, the person literally had issues that it's like, it's crazy. Okay. So what happened back in the day, I guess you could say, is that you'd be born at your house, right? Which some people do nowadays instead of in a hospital setting. So, you deal with clients that are 70, 75 years old. If you're out in the country selling, this would happen most of the time when I'm out in the country, I would say probably. Yeah, I guess so. Probably more so out in the country is they'd be born in their home and they wouldn't get to the hospital till a couple of days later, or a week or 2 weeks later. And that's when they get their birth certificate, right? So the birthday is going to be different than their actual birth certificate. So, they might have something on a driver's license that's different from their birth certificate. And that's where the disconnect is between Social Security and Medicare and what's on their driver's license card. And so it's like, hey, sometimes you run into the weirdest of things, but you just got to ask the clients and they'll be helpful. I've sat with a lot of clients. I run into a million crazy situations. So, if I haven't seen it, it's my first time seeing it with y'all. I always take note of that stuff so I could share it on these calls with other people. Daryl, next time I see you, I expect a coffee cup. Okay. I need a mug. So I appreciate everyone. Does anyone else have any other calls for us? Or not calls, rather, any other questions, comments, concerns? If you got concerns, I put them in my circular filing cabinet next to my desk. But I will take questions and comments. All right. So other than that, I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for joining. If y'all need anything, just let me know. We got AEP coming up, so make sure you're doing that prep. I got my list of all my clients. I have it all exported, and the letters are actually going out tomorrow to all of my clients. They're being sent out to my clients to stay in front of them. So make sure you're doing that. Take your clients. And then in addition to that, start marketing to your existing book of business that you have. I know you might have 75, 100 clients with one company. So start marketing with that client and that company for that database for your life insurance clients, and just start sending stuff out. Hey, just want to get back in touch with you. You're allowed to compliantly market non-life products to them. So you can market health products and get in front of them. So you try that for a hospital indemnity plan, whatever it is, for them to see your smiling face, sell more insurance, of course, and then potentially do the life side. So I appreciate everyone for joining. Have a wonderful evening. I'll be talking to y'all soon.